Good evening. Welcome to People's Security Bank Theater at Lackawanna College. My name is Jim Cullen. I'm the director. Thank you for coming to tonight's ceremony, Hazleton Class 247 graduation. Let's hear a nice round of applause to start the evening off. Thank you. Before we begin, I ask if you have a cell phone or a pager or any type of electronic device that has the potential to make sound, if you would please silence it for us. Thank you for abiding by our no food or drink policy in the theater. Hello, John. There's really no restrictions on photography. We just ask that you please do it politely. And we have our in-house photographer here, Mike Straub, to take a great picture of your graduate. We're also being videotaped by ECTV. So give yourself a moment to make yourselves aware of the theater exits nearest you. And without any more from me, it is once again my great honor to introduce the director of the Lackawanna College Police Academy, John Chilleri.
Welcome. Family, friends, supporters. This is an important night for you and your cadet. You are the ones that encourage your cadets and, more importantly, supported them through their training program. I want to thank you for your attendance and hope you enjoyed the program. At this time, I'd like to introduce the staff of the Academy, my Assistant Director of Academy Operations, Retired Chief Robert Jolly, my Academy Operations Coordinator, Will Oliphant, Administrative Assistants, Denise Boyle, who's out here somewhere and usually there they are, out in the far back, and Lynn Mellon. I've been blessed with a team of dedicated individuals that do an incredible amount of the work. They meet your cadet on the very first call when they express an interest in becoming a cadet. And they take them all the way through our program to graduation. None of this would be possible without the hard work of the administrative assistants and all my assistants. We have a cadre of instructors that are representative of federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. These instructors share their experience and knowledge to develop the best law enforcement officers and future leaders in law enforcement. With us tonight, we have 3 of our instructors. If you would please stand. Actually, 4 of our instructors. As I said, they represent some of the best there is in law enforcement education. Without them, none of this is possible. Your cadets would not be here this evening. I'm going to take a few minutes to introduce our honored guests that are seated on stage behind me. Brian Costanza, Lackawanna College Vice President of Advancement. Mr. Dominic DeNaples, who will be joining us on stage shortly, seated out front. He's a longtime supporter, and as I like to say, one of the Academy's biggest cheerleaders, and also a member of the Lackawanna College Board of Trustees. Retired Captain Will Oliphant, who I had mentioned earlier, retired from the Pennsylvania State Police, and he is our operations coordinator at the Academy. Chief Robert Jolly, retired chief of the Dallas Township Police Department, and he is the Assistant Director of Operations. Our honored guest tonight, the Honorable Coriel Stevens, President Judge of the Pennsylvania Superior Court. Our guest speaker tonight, and we are honored to have him here, is Police Chief Jerry Speziale from the City of Hazleton. Tonight, you'll have our invocation from Monsignor Thomas Madowney, who is of the Diocese of Scranton and chaplain for the Pennsylvania State Police. Also on stage joining us is Chief Albert Walker, Chief of Police, Hanover Township. We also have Scranton Officer Tony Gita. He is a board member of the Never Forgotten Motorcycle Ride, which we'll talk a little bit about later on. Tonight's ceremony is being photographed and a video recording is being made. will be shared with your cadet as our gift to them. So with nothing further, I'd like to begin our ceremony. Tonight, we also have representatives from the current Hazleton part-time class 246, Scranton full-time class 249, and Scranton part-time class 248. The cadets appear here tonight in support of their fellow cadets as they graduate. Class 246, 248, and 249 will now enter and take their seats. How about a round of applause for those who clapped? Please welcome me, please join me in welcoming the graduating class 247 as they enter the theater led by Jim Sweeney on bagpipes. I ask all of our guests to please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Class Captain Derek Jenkins, and the invocation by Monsignor Thomas Mathoni, as we welcome this class. Please remain standing, as we will now have our invocation by Monsignor Mathoni.
Dr. Albert Schweitzer, a great humanitarian, missionary, and medical doctor, once said, "I do not know what your destiny will be, but one thing I do know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." Let us pray. Heavenly Father, today we have come together to recognize and congratulate the members of the Lackawanna College Police Academy who will serve our Commonwealth with honor and integrity. As we congratulate them on this achievement, we offer our gratitude and support as they begin a life of service. May these remarkable men and women who will provide selfless acts of bravery and service to the citizens of this great Commonwealth be protected by your gracious will. May they become ambassadors of peace, justice, and equality. May they have a positive impact on our communities and make them safe. May they always have the strength of perseverance. Give them the blessing of your wisdom to know and to do what is right, temper their actions with mercy and justice, fill them with courage to face the challenges and to endure the dangers associated with carrying out their duties. Give them your blessings and provide them with your protection as they assume their roles as law enforcement officers. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Guests, please be seated. The cadets will now undergo their final inspection as a class. The Academy is a paramilitary organization, just as police departments are. We require uniforms, conduct inspections, perform drill and ceremony. We have a command structure and the cadets wear their Class A uniforms for this graduation. The final inspection will be conducted by a member of the Lackawanna College Board of Trustees, Mr. Dominic DeNaples, who is a veteran of the United States Army. He will be assisted by Officer Jeff Hughes, who is also one of our valued instructors, and he is also a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Gentlemen.
Director Chilleri, I return to you class number 247. This class is well and duly prepared.
How about another round of applause for class 247? Thank you, Mr. DeNaples, Drill Instructor Hughes. At this time, we will now hear from a representative of the Lackawanna College Board of Trustees. Mr. Dominic DeNaples will now share a few words with the graduation class.
Thank you, Director. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for your attendance. My remarks tonight will be brief, general in nature, and directed primarily to those 15 cadets. This gathering here tonight for this purpose again demonstrates Lackawanna College's continued commitment and contribution to higher learning, culture, and to getting people job ready here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Lackawanna College is not new in the teaching business. Lackawanna College has been educating and conferring degrees for a period spanning 3 centuries. We began way back in the 1800s, all through the 1900s, and well into the 2000s. And tonight, honor, distinction, and pride has come to visit us one more time. Tonight, the honor and the distinction rest with this Hazleton-based class number 247. The pride as always will remain here in the Academy, and more especially with all of you, the families of the graduates. More especially because you are the people who helped with the tuition, the babysitting, the transportation. You are also the people who gave them the encouragement and that little extra push to continue on and carry on when the road here at the Academy may have gotten a little bit bumpy. And yes, folks, the road is rather bumpy. The hill is steep and it's curvy. The way is very difficult and somewhat challenging. However, those cadets know that this is the small price that must be paid and the sacrifice that must be made in exchange for this, the bigger privilege and opportunity of being here today. Let's talk a little bit about being here today. Those 15 cadets are not here today solely because of their choice. They're not here because they looked at the program and said, it's interesting, the price is right, good deal, I think I'll sign up. It doesn't work that way. The screening process, the vetting process, and all that is necessary prior to enrollment here is well above and beyond what the average citizen can imagine. Many apply, certain few are selected. Class, the certification that you get here today does not come alone. It takes with it certain additional responsibilities on your part. All of a sudden, you're going to become somewhat of a role model. You're going to be looked up to by your friends, your neighbors, your family, and more importantly, the youth and the children you come in contact with. The bar is now lifted on your personal behavior, and you must conduct yourselves accordingly. Class, you are well trained. You are well prepared. And they scrubbed up nice and clean. They shined up nice, smartened up. And I think they look pretty darn good tonight. What do you think, folks? Do they look good? I think they look great. However, the one single unanswered question, how will they serve? How will they protect the dignity and the integrity of the badge of a police officer? How will they keep it clean, pristine, and free from tarnish and blemish? Class, how will you serve? I have that answer. Tonight during the inspection, I visited each and every one of them. And doing so, I look into the eyes and the faces of each and every one. What am I looking at? What do I see? I do not see doubt, confusion, uncertainties. I see hope, promise, confidence. I see that eagerness and willingness to learn, to discover, and to go forward in life. And life, as we all know, is one constant and continuous learning experience. A young mind, enriched, enlarged, expanded with all of the values and virtues that this certification brings, can never and will never shrink or return to its former size because skill, talent, knowledge is absolutely no burden to carry. Now, when we separate and leave here today, you'll be crossing an era, threshold into a new era. Some of you have jobs to go to, others will be seeking employment. You need to be the very, very best at whatever you endeavor into. Set your sights high, point your arrows upwards, skywards, and do not be afraid to take that chance, because the biggest loss will be taking no chance. All good things begin with a vision. Class, each and every one of you have some kind of a vision. Each and every one of you are loaded with incredible potential. But you need to reach inside yourselves, get a hold of it, shake it loose, and put it to work. The human body and the human mind will perform far, far beyond your expectations, but only if you challenge them. Do not underestimate yourselves, class. You can do it. Tonight, you will add to yourselves one new dimension of character. You will add to yourselves an indelible mark of distinction that will remain with you. Tonight, this certification brings to you the foundation, the building blocks, and all of the basic tools necessary to climb that ladder of success. And tonight, here at this level, you will graduate from the absolute finest and most challenging police academy in this Commonwealth. And it now becomes your turn to maintain, add to, build upon that long legacy and that fine reputation that law enforcement has enjoyed throughout the ages. This great reputation is resulted from those who served before you, people like some of your presenters here tonight, your cadre of instructors who are second to none. Note in your program that all of the instructors are listed by name. And further note that they come from all walks of life and every avenue and aspect of law enforcement. And they're here for a few reasons. First, they're here because they know the need of and they have the respect of law enforcement. They're not here for the money, because around here, anything over minimum wage is considered overpayment. That's supposed to get a little chuckle out of that one. They're here because they know that everything necessary to become a good police officer cannot be found online or in the textbook. They're here because they want to teach you, impart onto you, all that they have learned, accomplished, and experienced throughout their careers. And for that, let us one more time give the instructors their well-deserved recognition. Okay, class, you're certified. You're going to work. You get up in the morning, you don the uniform of the day, which consists basically of protective clothing, handguns, handcuffs, communicating devices, and so forth. Tonight, the old man with the gray hair and the bald head wants to give you a few more items to put in that tool chest. And the items I'm about to give you, you must always have with you and never leave behind. Number one, physical endurance. You must maintain your physical endurance. Number two, likewise, your mental endurance. Maintain your mental endurance, accompanied with the ability to evaluate a situation and react promptly, correctly, and prudently. Number three is courage. Maintain your courage. And finally, and probably the most important of all, good old-fashioned common sense. You're going to have to know how to and when to policemanize a situation, and you're also going to have to know how to and when to humanize a situation. And I'm sure that those traits will be honed sharply with experience. Class, you are now a product of Lackawanna College's Police Academy, and you will always wear our label. Going forward in life, you must position yourselves and posture yourselves so that we here at Lackawanna can always be as proud of you as we are today. May God bless you. May God bless and guide our United States of America, and may He watch over you throughout your entire career.
Thank you. We will now introduce the class chain of command for graduation class 247. The chain of command is selected by the Academy Director with input from the Academy instructors, my assistants, and staff. The chain of command was put in place as part of a training to introduce them to organizational structure of a police department with emphasis on communication, organization, and discipline. Without organization, discipline, and communication, an officer cannot survive on the street. We start from day one with a point of contact. We don't have a chain of command in the beginning of the program. There's no set time when we pick that chain of command. We make that determination based on the fact that the class stops acting as individuals and start acting as a unit. Once they have unit cohesion and they're working together for one purpose, then and only then do we put that chain of command in place. Chain of command for class 247. Captain Derek Jenkins, please stand. Lieutenant Maurice Burton. Sergeant Lauren McNeilis. There you have the chain of command for class 247. Take your seats. I'm proud to say that they did an incredible job. This class performed very well together. Their chain of command was appointed early on. They realized our motto, mission before self, just about before any other class I've had exposure to. At this point in time, I'll ask Captain Jenkins to step forward and offer some remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. I'd like to thank you all for being able to attend tonight's graduation. We as a class would like to thank Director Chilleri and all of his staff as well at Lackawanna Police Academy. We would also like to thank Chief Jolly for putting up with us in Hazleton and for all his words of wisdom. We would like to thank all of our instructors for sacrificing the time out of their busy schedules to come and teach. I can remember our first day of the academy, which was day 0. None of us knew what to expect. That first day, we met some of our instructors, and they gave us insight onto what their expectations of us were going to consist of. So you can say we thought day 0 wasn't too bad. But the next day, day 1, I remember running up to the 5th floor, coming into the classroom for uniform inspection, standing at 45 degrees, your thumb straight along your trouser seam. Felt like I was at Paris Island again. Everyone had that scared, nervous look on their face. That was a motivating day for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, as you look up on stage, you can see that we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all thought this. But in a blink of an eye, we all became one, a family. We have endured ups and downs together, not only with the extensive physical training or with the strenuous academics or defensive tactics, but with our personal lives as well. But that's what brings us together and makes us a family. Speaking of family, we as a class want to thank all of you. None of us could have earned the certificate without the love and support of our friends and family. Those of you seated here tonight, and those who unfortunately were not able to be here. Without you folks, our stakeholders, we wouldn't be seated up here tonight. Finally, I want to thank Class 247 for enduring everything that had been thrown at us. We took it with a grain of salt. We improvised, we adapted, we overcame. I wish everyone a long and safe career. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
Well done, Captain. At this point in our program, we're going to hear from our guest speaker. Our guest speaker tonight is a friend of the Lackawanna College Police Academy. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Chief of Police Jerry Spezialy. He's a true crime fighter for the citizens of Hazleton City. Jerry is a renowned, accomplished, and decorated law enforcement leader with over 37 years' experience. His early career with NYPD and the United States Drug Enforcement Administration were the subject of an autobiography, Without a Badge. Currently, he serves as the Chief of Police of the City of Hazleton Police Department. Previously, Jerry served as the Deputy Superintendent of Police for the New York, New Jersey Port Authority Police Department, comprising of 2,700 officers. Prior to that, he served as a sheriff of the Passaic County Sheriff's Department that includes 1,100 members in their agency. He served with that organization for nearly a decade and held several other chiefs and command positions in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. It is my pleasure to introduce Chief Jerry Spezialy.
Thank you, Director. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Academy staff, members of the graduating class, family, and friends. First, let me tell you what a pleasure it is to be here with you on this very special evening. I don't take the honor of addressing you here lightly. It's truly an honor to stand here and speak about the profession I am so passionate about, love, and have been a part of for the past 37 years. Being a police officer is a calling. It means being committed to a cause that's greater than oneself and dedicating yourself to the protection and service of others. Remember, public service is about public trust. As each of you ventures out at the start of your careers, I think it's important for you to remember to never lose sight of what it truly is and truly means to be a police officer. So much of what you do and the impact you will have on the community cannot be measured in statistics nor quantified by numbers. While making arrests, writing tickets are an essential and important part of your job, they only tell half the story. I think it's key to never lose sight of the things that are equally as important. So much of the satisfaction I've derived from this job, and I suspect you will as well, can be found not in the big headlines, but rather in the quieter stories, which often go untold. It comes from the relationships you build with the community and how good you make people feel when they know you're there for them. That success will be measured by how safe and secure people feel working, playing, and living in their community that you serve. Understand so much of what you do goes unnoticed. You'll never really know how many senior citizens were not mugged, how many homes not burglarized, how many cars not stolen, how many stores not robbed, and how many lives not taken, simply because you drove down the street or happen to pass by on your patrol shift. There is simply no way of measuring or knowing those things. But it's often in those quieter and routine moments that the true spirit and meaning of who we are and what we represent comes shining through. When people see you, they feel good, they feel safe, and they feel protected. Just imagine for one moment what our society would be like without you. Tonight, you graduate. Ready to face the challenges of 21st century policing, you're disciplined, educated, and physically fit. You've learned and demonstrated teamwork and a solid work ethic. The staff and instructors here have prepared you, but the rest is up to you. Your career and what you will become is now in your hands. That career depends on you. It is up to you to have a career that matters and have a life of significance. I know you're anxious to complete this ceremony and get into the streets. But as a police officer for nearly 37 years, and someone who's worked virtually all the ranks and assignments of law enforcement, please allow me to pass a few thoughts and observations. I ask you to pursue your career with balancing vigorous crime-fighting efforts with just as vigorous protection of constitutional rights and civil liberties. Seek your educational and training opportunities, read about the profession, stay in shape, remain proficient. I tell you from experience that the true reward of this job has little to do with what you receive and everything to do with what you give. Resist the temptation to become judgmental of others. It will become obvious to you that some people are where they are in life because they make poor decisions, or they did, but it will not help you or them to assess blame. Remember that your law enforcement mission will never be compromised because you treated somebody with dignity or respect. Always maintain a positive outlook because as your career progresses, I can tell you one of the biggest challenges you will face will be in your own mind, your attitude. It will become easy to feel unappreciated or slighted. You will see this in officers who have become cynical and disillusioned over the years. I am here to tell you that it is their choice as it is yours. Attitude is 10% of what happens to you, and 90% is how you react to it. If you choose to be positive and satisfied, you will be. I'm not saying that this is easy. I am telling you that this is directly in your hands. I stand before you tonight to say that I had the opportunity to do this all over again. I wouldn't change a thing. Remember to always keep your lives, as you've heard, unsullied, as an example to all, and conduct yourself as if the family was watching you, your family, or perhaps will read about you or see you on the news, because one day they will. Choose your mentors carefully, not so much for their technical skills or their knowledge of the law, but rather for their character, compassion, integrity, and judgment. Remember, when justice and the application of law are at odds, always choose justice. As a father of 5, make time for your family. Spend time with them. Make sure you get to know your kids. Support their interests and hobbies, and make sure you're there for them. Finally, I ask you to maintain the sense of duty, dignity, and discipline you feel today. Keep your head high, your boots shined, and your shield untarnished. Society has vested in you great responsibility. I warn you not to be impressed by your authority, but rather be humbled by it, because it's much larger than you are. Now to the families. I ask that you be loving and supportive. Obviously, you have been throughout this whole endeavor. Some things they go through you may never understand. Make the most of your time together and take the opportunity to understand the profession and the things they go through daily. To the Academy staff, you should be so proud. You have prepared yet another outstanding group of young officers for the challenges of law enforcement, and I know they will perform as effectively as those who have gone before them. You have done outstanding, and they have done tremendous. I thank you for inviting me to be here with them. To the men and women graduating tonight, my brothers and sisters in law enforcement, it has indeed been a pleasure to speak to you here tonight. I welcome you to the law enforcement profession, and I wish you the very best. Done properly, it is the best job in the world. Remember, the oath you take and what you take of it. Remember what you carried you through this past months here in the Academy, as it will carry you through the work ahead, the challenges and the opportunities, the sacrifices and the triumphs, just as it carried me to where I am today. Today is a day that you have earned, and I am proud and humbled to have had the privilege of being part of this. Be safe, look out for one another, and always do the right thing. Because after all, we're on the side of the common good. Remember, you can never be a good police officer without integrity. Thank you. God bless you. God bless all the families. Congratulations. May you have a safe tour. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chief, for those fine words. We have a special guest with us tonight. We will now hear from the Honorable Coriel Stevens, President Judge Emeritus, Pennsylvania Superior Court, as he will offer some remarks to the graduating class and to our guest here tonight. Your Honor.
Good evening, everyone. I just said he's going to be a tough act to follow. Thank you for the opportunity to share in this evening with you. It's special for me because I grew up in Hazleton, and you're a Hazleton class. I'm here out of respect for you, your accomplishments, respect for your family and friends who have been supportive of you, and respectful for what you're about to accomplish. The court that I'm on is a statewide court. And Billy Currington, the country singer, has a song, and he just says, God is great, beer is good, people are crazy. Well, let me tell you, every day I see some of the crazy people in the court cases, and I respect that you are willing to stand up and protect us from those who have no regard for the law, no regard for property, and no regard for human life. And I'll tell you, I really respect you for that. And there's no reason, as a judge, that we can't respect the rights of people, the constitutional rights under this flag, without putting our law enforcement officers at risk. And I can tell you without a doubt, I've been a judge since 1991. I have never made a decision that will put any law enforcement officers at risk. And I want you to know I never will. It's not going to happen, because you are doing your job, and we have to understand that we can protect your rights. Now, the only other thing I want to mention is that you're going to join a community of highly respected people, the people in this room, of course, but also our county detectives, our local chiefs, our local police, our federal agents that are here, state attorney general. And when you talk about the best, we have the best of the best. The Pennsylvania State Police are the most respected state police organization in the country. And it's just wonderful. Now, I want to mention one more thing. I'm going to apologize to Mr. DeNaples, because he's heard me say this before. And by the way, Dominic DeNaples and his family, every day, quietly, without fanfare, they're doing things to help this community, and I thank you for that. But I just want to mention my grandfather, used to be a city cop in Hazleton, a long time ago. Some of you may mention, you guys won't know this, there was a place called Fidulo's on East Diamond Avenue. And it was a hot August day, and the door to the tavern, bar, restaurant was open, and there were 2 steps to go in. And Chief, I don't think you guys have horses anymore, but anyway, he was on horseback. And a tough day for him was a couple coal miners had too much to drink, and he'd get them home. Okay, but one day, he sees a purse snatching on East Diamond Avenue, and the guy sees my grandfather on the horse, so he runs up the 2 steps into Fidulo's. My grandfather rode the horse up the steps into the bar and trapped the guy against the wall and got him. Now today, he would be sued, right? The horse would be sued, and the guy would become a victim. But anyway, that's not going to happen anymore. Lackawanna, we are very fortunate to have Lackawanna College, the Lackawanna Police Academy in our area. It's a jewel. And you're all invited because you're open to the public. I don't know the exact date yet, I'm waiting. This spring, we're gonna have a Superior Court session here, hopefully in this building. It may be in the courthouse, I'm not sure yet. And it's open to the public, and lawyers will come and argue their cases. We have to, by law, hear cases, all criminal cases in Pennsylvania come to us. So if somebody's convicted at the trial level, they appeal to my court, and we decide cases in panels of 3. Our judges are elected statewide. So that's basically how it works, and we're gonna have them here. So what I'd like to end by saying this, and again, Mr. DeNaples, you've heard me say this 100 times, but I love country music, and I think Toby Keith sums up some things. So I just want to end this to say, justice is the one thing you should always find. You gotta saddle up your boys, you gotta draw a hard line. When the gun smoke settles, we'll sing a victory tune, and we'll all meet back at the local saloon. We'll raise our glasses against evil forces, singing whiskey for my men and beer for my horses. And I wish you all the best, and please be safe. And I know that there are judges on the courts that are gonna have your back. So we all wish you the very best. Thank you for letting me be part of this tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point in the program, we will be issuing some awards to members of Class 247. The awards are given to the cadets for a variety of categories. The cadets do not know until this moment who the recipient is. The first award is the Driver's Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association, and the award will be presented by Chief Albert Walker, and this award is presented to Cadet Saliba. Please step forward. The next award is the Handgun Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by the Northeast Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association. I'll ask Academy Operations Coordinator, retired Captain Will Oliphant, to join me and present this award to Cadet Saliba. The next award is the High Scholastic Award. This is the highest average of all courses scores combined. There are 27 exams that the cadets must take and pass. There's 940 hours, including testing, in this program. It's an intensive program. The program is designed to encourage the cadets to think, to use reasonable judgment, and prepares them for the street. The award is presented in memory of our past director, Mary Ann Grippo. Mary Ann was the director of our academy prior to me assuming the role as director. She passed away untimely at the age of 51. However, she was adamant about ensuring that the academics in our program were second to none. Academy Operations Director Chief Robert Jolly will assist me in presenting this award to Cadet Justin Funk. Another example of the collaboration between our academy and local law enforcement and recognizing our fallen officers. The Trooper Joshua D. Miller Physical Fitness Award is based on the combined scores of the 1.5 mile and 300 meter run throughout the program, and to include the midpoint testing and final testing in our physical fitness training program. Tonight's award is presented to Cadet Tyler Cawley. However, he was unable to be here this evening. So the award will be forwarded to him. Each graduating class selects one member to receive the Spirit of Distinction Award. This award is named for one of our graduates, Eric Williams. For those of you who may not know, Officer Eric Williams was working as a correctional officer at the U.S. Penitentiary in Canaan when he was brutally attacked and stabbed to death by an inmate. Officer Williams was killed on February 2013. He had served with the Federal Bureau of Prisons for 18 months. He was survived by his parents, sisters, and 2 brothers. Eric's family has dedicated themselves to improving the safety for correctional officers and all law enforcement. They have taken their words to the Capitol. They have graciously given the Academy an annual donation from their foundation in Eric's name to support our outreach programs, such as our Family Day, which many of you participated in. It is in the spirit of selflessness that we have named the award for Eric. The award is given to the cadet in each Hazleton class who the class believes embodies the same qualities, honor, dedication, service, courage, integrity, and selflessness that Eric had exhibited. I will ask Don Williams, Eric's dad, to join me on stage as we present this award. Mr. Williams would like to share a few remarks to the graduates and to the guests. Sir?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to congratulate Class 247 and on their accomplishments. As already mentioned, Eric was my son who, he graduated here in the year 2006. It was Hazleton Class 163. He went on to be involved in a private sector of law enforcement where he was into loss prevention, became a uniformed officer in Lackawanna County in a police department for quite a few years, and then went on, as mentioned, to be a federal corrections officer at USP Canaan, which is a high security federal facility. And on the night of February 25th in 2013, we got a knock on the door and we're told my son had been murdered by an inmate who happened to be doing life and was a hitman for the Mexican mafia. And anyhow, as his parent, what I would like to say to the class here is I would like you to remember 3 things real quickly. Number 1, I would like you to remember all those officers that have gone before you and have fallen in the line of duty. Because of their sacrifices, a lot of changes have come about in the law enforcement community, better safety things, more recognition of your needs, and so there's been improvements because of them. Number 2, I would like you to remember to always have care and concern for your law enforcement family. I heard Captain Jenkins mention the importance of family. Judge Stevens mentioned about law enforcement family. When Eric was killed, law enforcement officers from all over the United States of America came to his funeral, to our home, and supported us. And without this law enforcement community, I don't know where we've been. It's a wonderful family you now belong to. And number three, remember the lessons that they teach you here at Lackawanna Academy, because those very lessons will not only make you a better professional, but they also may save your life. So with that, I'm going to wish you to stay safe and go forth and serve your community. Thank you.
The Class 247 recipient for this award is Cadet Justin Funk. Thank you. One of our most recent collaborations with a law enforcement support organization is with an organization called the Never Forgotten Motorcycle Ride. At one of the graduations when I mentioned this, I saw a puzzled look across the faces of many people sitting there. Well, what does this have to do with law enforcement? They went on a ride. This organization's mission is dedicated to welfare of our officers and all first responders, keeping the memory of our fallen first responders alive. They're donating $100 gift certificate from Star Uniform to each graduation class member for the purpose of essential police equipment that these officers will need as they begin their careers. When I became director and they first approached me, I was overwhelmed with their generosity. And the only thing they asked in return was that it was put to good use, and that when they have their motorcycle ride, we are there. We don't need to be asked to be there. We are there to support this great cause. They are doing so much for our organization. Each cadet will receive their gift certificate as they are receiving their diploma tonight. Tonight with us, from the Never Forgotten Ride, is a friend of mine who I've worked with for many years. I worked in a neighboring community. Scranton Patrol Officer Tony Gita, who will be joining us as we present the certificates in a few moments. At this point in time, we will be presenting the certificates. But before I do that, I just want to touch a little bit on what this program is all about. You heard me mention the 940 hours and 27 tests. When I went through the academy in 1986, the program was about 540 or 560 hours. Without disrespect to any of the instructors or the curriculum or the development of it, we sat in classrooms, read from handouts. Our program has taken a complete turn. January 2018, the program went to 940 hours. 27 exams, physical demanding skills, as I'm sure the cadets can attest. Many of them question, what will we do in defensive tactics? By the end of the program, they are going full force with the instructors. Why? To keep them alive, to bring them home to their loved ones. I took this job with the understanding that I would have free rein to implement some programs. We are the only academy in the Commonwealth that is participating in scenario hands-on training approximately every 4 weeks. Our driving program is done at Pocono Raceway. Our firearms curriculum is second to none. We just went through a curriculum revision where all of the instructors participated. It was led by 2 retired Secret Service firearms instructors. Again, second to none. Our firearms instructors complemented that program by helping to write it. It is one of the best in the Commonwealth, as the Director of Training for the Commonwealth had stated. One of our recent additions was to enhance our criminal law training. Several months back, I had a meeting with the District Attorney, Mark Powell, who sits next to us. And I want to extend my personal thanks for all of his efforts. They're a very busy office, and he encouraged his assistant DAs to participate as instructors. And as Mr. DeNaples had stated, the pay isn't all that good, but they give of their time, and they are here, and they came in with an open mind and said, all we need to do and all we want to do is improve the program and improve the officers. So we do have the best officers in the Commonwealth, and I'm quite proud of that. Once again, thank you, Attorney Powell. At this point in time, we will have the presentation of the certificates. The cadets are given an option to have someone in law enforcement or the military to present their certificate. Some have chosen to have this person join them on stage as they receive their certificate. At this time, I will ask Academy Assistant Director Bob Jolly and Academy Operations Coordinator Will Oliphant to assist me in presenting the certificates. In addition, I'm sure you noticed that there are officers wearing uniforms. That's an indication of the quality that we offer. Before they even complete the program, we have departments reaching out to us to hire officers. I'm proud to say we are one of the only academies that have dorm space. We allow people to dorm here. We have cadets, people interested in becoming cadets coming from all over the state to our program. The officers who are in uniform are Captain Jenkins, who was hired by Cole Township Police Department. Cadet Galise, hired by the Rush Township Police Department. Cadet Hatter, hired by the Rush Township Police Department. And the chief of the Rush Township Police Department sits out back, one of our instructors, Ken Zapotsky. Ken made it a point to look at our cadets, and I'm certain he saw the quality. And I thank you for that, sir. Cadet Funk, hired by South Central PD. And Cadet Freiler, hired by Mount Carmel Borough Police Department. Cadet Olin, hired by Tremont PD. And I believe I'm forgetting someone. Who did I forget? Speak up. Was that intention? No. Sorry about that. Cadet Lantigua, hired by Sugarloaf Township Police Department. I counted them as they walked in, and I was trying to think, who did I forget? Thank you for that. At this point, all those that will be presenting certificates on stage, I will ask that you stay in this area as your name is called. Please take your time going up the steps, and we will present the certificate as we announce your name. As I said, Academy Assistant Director Robert Jolly and Operations Coordinator Will Alpha will be assisting with the presentation of their certificates, and at the same time, they will be receiving their gift certificate from Never Forgotten. Okay.
First cadet, Cadet Alpizar. The presenter is going to be his cousin, Isaac Jimenez, who graduated from here and is working for Fountain Hill PD. Good to see you, Isaac. Cadet Lauren McNeils. Cadet Kevin Lantiga, The presenter is Linaldi Rodriguez from the West Hazelton Police Department. Cadet Michael Saliba. The presenter is his uncle, retired United States Secret Service. Okay. Cadet Justin Funk. Presenter is Trooper Paul Mattern, Pennsylvania State Police. Cadet Anderson Glod. Cadet Maurice Burton. The presenter is Sergeant Glenn Spiel, Palmer Township. Cadet Jenkins, Captain. Cadet Evan Freiler. Cadet Gembeck. The presenter is his father, who's a magistrate in Shamokin. Cadet Nicholas Scalise. The presenter is Kevin Shackles, his father, from Hampton Police Department, Virginia. Cadet Olin. Cadet Cuck. Cadet Hatter, presenter, is Jermaine Freeland, brother, 11 years, NYPD.
Thank you. How about a round of applause for our graduating class? At this time, I'd like to offer a special thanks and appreciation for all those who have come out to help in presenting the certificates to your cadets. At this point of the program, we honor a fallen officer. We call it the Fallen Officer Tribute. Each class is instructed to choose a fallen officer to whom they dedicate their training and graduation. This tradition underscores for the cadet the serious nature of this job and how important it is to perform their duties with honor, not only for themselves, but for those who have served and gone before us. But in order to do justice to the men and women and canines who laid down their lives in this profession, we ask that these officers, these new officers, serve with integrity. Each class, upon graduation, then becomes referred to as the name of their fallen officer in honor of their officer. Class 247 has chosen K-9 Chopper of the Conewango Township Police Department. End of watch, 6/6/2018. As we honor this K-9, we need to look at all of the fallen officers who have gone before them. In your program, you will find the story of K-9 Chopper. K-9 Chopper had served with dignity and honor to those he worked with. A plaque with K-9 Chopper's name will be provided to the Conewango Police Department, displaying our Academy patch and the names of each member of Class 247. Another tradition we have is a challenge coin. The tradition of the Lackawanna College Police Academy is the presentation to each cadet of a challenge coin, depicting the Academy logo and mission: honor, integrity, and courage. Each cadet will receive a challenge coin along with their graduation packet, as well as our stage party will receive one. This memorializes this special event and recognizes their accomplishments. A photo of the challenge coin will appear in the photos that you will receive. In closing with the fallen officers ceremony, we have a banner ceremony. Captain Jenkins of the graduating class 247 will be participating in this part of the presentation. Captain Jenkins will receive the banner that will be affixed to the guidon, held by Scranton full-time class captain Skippy Young. The guidon is adorned with streamers bearing the names of the fallen officers who have been honored by our past Academy graduates. The guidon then stands at the entrance of our Academy as a reminder to each current and incoming cadet of those who have gone before them in this profession, so they can respect the importance and magnitude of the commitment they are about to make. Assistant Director Jolly presented the banner to Captain Jenkins. Our bagpiper, Jim Sweeney, will then join us in honoring the fallen officer and all fallen officers. Captain Jenkins. In closing, I would like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It has truly been an honor to stand here before you and to stand alongside my fellow brothers and sisters as they enter the profession of law enforcement. Well, Class 247, you made it. You join a legacy of officers that over the last 43 years of the Lackawanna College Police Academy have graduated and moved on to their careers in law enforcement. They have done us honor, those who have moved on. We are proud to have many of them back as instructors. During your time at the Academy, the cadets have gained knowledge, skills, and a foundation of expertise in many areas. Most importantly, they have learned real-life lessons and consequences of our core values. They've learned the importance and necessity of honor, integrity, and courage, and of the calling for you to put mission and service before self. All of you have made a commitment to stand that gap between us and those who seek to do us and our fellow citizens harm. And for that, we are proud of each and every one of you. The legacy of mission and service before self continues on as we release another class to serve and protect the citizens of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You have done me proud. I'm very proud to stand here alongside you. You've heard me say many times before, the honor of being a police officer is the most important and incredible thing I've ever done in my life. Remember, what we see on the national media and what we see out there has happened. Some of it is factual, some is not. However, it's sad to say there are some of those out there who did a disservice, and you've heard me say it before. We've done this to ourselves on occasion. However, I am confident that the future is bright, that you will go out there and you will serve with honor, integrity, and you will set the standard for professionalism. You will always have a home at Lackawanna College Police Academy. Be safe. Congratulations. Well done. Drill Instructor Hughes, for the final time, please take command of Class 247.